Welcome back, America. I'm Hugh Hewitt on Monday before Christmas, joined by United States Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas. Senator, Merry Christmas. I'm sure you're not busy at all.
Well, good afternoon, Hugh, to you, and Merry Christmas to you and your family and all your listeners. There may be one or two more gifts out there that are just waiting to be found by me between now and Wednesday night. Let's hope I succeed.
Amazon could probably get you the Guardians hat and a couple of jerseys in a hurry, and maybe some Browns gear. I think they're on sale. I don't know.
After yesterday, they might be. They came close to beating a pretty good Bills team, but they still found Browns ways to lose.
Yes, they did. Very Browns ways to lose. Senator, I want to ask you, I had a big argument with Mike Lawler on Friday about his discharge petition. You were in the House, and you know that was a showboat stunt. And there's no way we're going to vote for the 3-year straight extension of Obamacare subsidies, bad law. But his argument sort of was, well, we got to do something, and that's not a very good argument. But is there something that we can do next year on reconciliation with 51 votes, like maybe make the Obamacare state exchanges all one exchange so there's a bigger risk pool on which the insurance companies can bid?
Hugh, I would take a step back even further. A lot of the debate in Congress has been focused on these Obamacare COVID bonuses that Joe Biden handed out in 2021 and which are now expiring. You just asked about Obamacare writ large. I would take a step back even further and say we need to address health insurance and health care for every American, not just the small sliver who are on Obamacare. In Arkansas, for instance, it's about 5% of our population, about 165,000 on Obamacare. I will say that's a more than almost threefold increase from where we were before Joe Biden took office, just to give you a sense of the money that Democrats pumped into Obamacare, which is failing so badly. Only about 10,000 of those, so only about 0.4% of all Arkansans, are over 400% of the poverty level and therefore losing all subsidies. Everyone, of course, below 400% of poverty, which in Arkansas, I would remind you, is still above the median household income, Hugh. It's still getting the traditional Obamacare subsidy. The reason they're seeing rates of increase of, say, 18, 20, 22% versus private sector increases of 10 to 12% versus a Medicare increase of 9%, of course, is that Obamacare is a failing health insurance program. It was flawed from the beginning. It's been driving up the cost of health care for Americans, not just on the exchanges, but off the exchanges, too, because of all the rigid mandates. So we need to take a step back and think about how to make health care and health insurance more affordable for Americans more broadly, not just these COVID bonuses, which were always meant to be temporary and have been riddled with fraud and would cost $350 billion to extend the way the Democrats want to.
Now, Leader Thune told me last week, theoretically, you can do 2 more reconciliations with 50 votes plus the vice president and a majority in the House. Can you get together on some health care reform that makes sense?
Yeah, John Thune is right about that. There's a couple more bites at the apple. So it's not a procedure question. It's the legislative and political question, Hugh, of whether or not we can, align 218 House Republicans and 50 Senate Republicans around the same policies. I think there's a chance we can do that, Hugh. Last summer we were mostly focused on trying to reform and protect Medicaid for the people who need it most. And we accomplished that to some degree. May not have gone as far as some Republicans want, maybe went a little bit farther than some did. But we did save a lot of money to invest back into the Medicaid system for the people who truly need it, adults with developmental disabilities, or pregnant women, children, so on and so forth, as opposed to grown men who are able-bodied. I think if we had a second health care bill under the special budgetary rules, we'd be looking at some of the things that you and I have been discussing, how to make health care broadly more affordable for everyone, whether it's changing some of the strictures of the Obamacare mandates or making it easy for people to come together through associations or organizations to get health insurance the same way that, say, Walmart can get health insurance and drive a good bargain because they have so many employees. There's a few different ideas batting around out there. Again, it wouldn't be the focus from last summer, which was mostly about Medicaid. It wouldn't be the focus from this past month, which is mostly about those COVID bonuses from Obamacare that were always meant to expire at the end of this month. It would be about making health care more affordable for all Americans.
Well, I think that would be great. And if there was a second one, tweaking immigration so that it got rational again and we got rid of sort of chain migration and focused on high skills immigrants who want to come in, at the same time maybe doing something for the dreamers that make Democrats come over and join it. But people have got to want to sit down and get something done, and it's got to, January through March, basically, then we're in the election cycle. You're the conference chair. Are you optimistic about anything passing next year?
Oh, yeah, sure, Hugh. There's a lot of work left to do to implement the ideas on which we campaign to implement President Trump's agenda. I can't tell you exactly what it might look like or what direction it would take. That's, again, going to take agreement among 50 Senate Republicans, 218 House Republicans. But we have a lot of work left to do, trying to make health care, health insurance more affordable, trying to get people back to work, trying to bring inflation generally under control, making sure that we're funding our military, funding the president's immigration initiatives, which, as you said, have gone a long way to help reducing crime and drugs in the country. So there's a lot of work left to do. And you're right that people are going to start facing elections. I mean, I'm in the middle of my own. But it's not true, although often stated in Washington, that nothing gets done in an election year. I mean, if you recall, the landmark welfare reform of the Gingrich era got passed, I think, in late July of 1996. So it is often said, but not always true, that nothing happens in an election year. So we've got a lot of runway left ahead of us in this Congress.
Well, that does bring me to my third question, which is the Minnesota fraud is so enormous, and now there's an estimate of fraud in California that dwarfs that. Is there any kind of all-purpose, I don't want to say the word inspector generals because that's just a ticket to nowhere. Is there something that can be done about people cheating the government out of benefits and running up our deficit and screwing really needy Americans out of money that they need?
Yeah, I mean, Hugh, a lot of the work we did last summer in the Working Families Tax Cut was designed to reduce that kind of fraud, whether it was in the food stamp program or in Medicaid or in other welfare programs. I think there's more to be done, obviously. And I think some people in places like Minnesota and California and Massachusetts are going to be facing criminal liability for what they did, as they should. But we've already worked hard and saved hundreds of billions of dollars to the taxpayer in fraud. There are other programs that need stricter controls. I frankly, Hugh, would be fine tightening what we put in place last summer. We only required 20 hours of work a week for able-bodied grown men, Hugh. And work can count as looking for work or volunteering or seeking an education. I don't think many Arkansans believe that 20 hours is onerous, and we'd probably increase that a little bit more.
I'm with you on that. Merry Christmas to you, Senator. Talk to you in the new year. I'm off next week, but I appreciate all the times you've shown up this year, and look forward to talking to you in 2026.